Today, under President Trump's leadership, we are taking bold action and historic action to restore trust in the organ procurement process. For the first time in history, HHS will decertify an organ procurement organization mid-cycle. The Trump administration is setting a new standard of patient safety comes first. Today's announcement leaves no doubt. When OPOs operate properly, they save lives. When they operate improperly, they are going to face decertification.
Well, that was a little bit chilling. I don't even know what to make of that, but I want to introduce you to somebody who can tell you more about that. Her name is Ellie Hirsch. She's a certified nutritionist, and she is a wellness coach, and she's here from Brightcore. Ellie, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
When I saw that video, it kind of like chilled me to the core because I'm like, what in the heck is this? Tell me, what did we just watch and what do you think about it?
That's a good question, Barry. My initial thought is, how creepy is that? I mean, if you look at it from a scientific perspective, I mean, it's just not scientifically realistic. Okay. And where are they getting all these organs from? I'd love to know. Is it human? Are they pigs? Is it plastic? I mean, because we know we could all use more plastic in the world, right? But, I think when we talk about organ donation and organ transplants, I mean, the whole point of it is to treat ill health. It's not immortality. And there's no scientific evidence to say that, if you're going to, put it in me and put it in you. First of all, you can't do that. It has a shelf life, right? Organs have a shelf life. So the whole thing is creepy and odd. And do we really want to live to 150? I don't know. I mean,
no, 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 I don't, not at all. And
yeah.
what's really creepy, and you just made me think of something, as you said, where are these organs coming from? I don't want to know. I don't want to know what some of these people have done or cooked up in a laboratory or have taken kids off the street. I don't want to know. That's too scary to even think. I mean, could you even imagine if they're harvesting and whew, that's some crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Out of my mouth. Are they harvesting?
Yeah, it's like Frankenstein things. I'm thinking of the Matrix, and there's big giant pods with people just there to be harvesting their organs. That's absolutely crazy. So what do you think about the 150 years you mentioned? What do you think about the global life expectancy and how it's now declining for the first time in 30 years?
Well, we are aging faster than ever, okay? And the decline suggests that people are dying younger from preventable conditions rather than just old age. And back in 2014, the US life expectancy peaked at 78.8 years. And then, throughout the next several years, it fell modestly. And then it started tumbling downward in 2020 and 2021. So it's, yeah. We are aging faster than ever, which is really scary. And that's what's happening in our world right now.
So what are some of the causes of this decline? Obviously, obesity, disease, but there's got to be more than that. What in heart conditions? What are some of the causes of the decline?
Well, there are really a lot of things that have contributed to this lower life expectancy. First, I want to talk about unhealthy diet. Okay. Americans are known for big portions. They're known for fast food, and it's not good. We all know that, right? This is not new news. Americans are eating more ultra processed foods, not enough whole foods. And, there's a lot of poisons in our foods, right? We all know that the FDA is allowing things like that to happen. And that's why, when I read what RFK Jr. is doing to take red dyes out and things like that, that makes me and the wellness community, the health community, the medical community really, really happy because first it's education. And second of all, someone's got to do something about it.
This seems like a very easy question, but I've never contemplated until I just started seeing some of the stuff you're talking about in RFK Jr. And that question is, what exactly causes us to age? Wait, I mean, is it a clock that the Lord put on us or something? Why do we even age? What causes us to age?
So what happens is when you eat this unhealthy diet, right? So it leads to more chronic diseases at an earlier age, right? So heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and it's developing earlier. It's developing more often. There's so many chemicals in the air. Also, what happens is pharmaceuticals are kind of pushing things on us. Levels of microplastics are rising, which is insane. Okay. Vaccines, which kind of leads me to COVID-19. Okay.
Uh,
So, COVID-19, a lot of people like to blame this decrease in life expectancy on COVID-19. And yes, we did lose a lot of lives, but it's not it contributed to it, but it's not the cause of it. Because if that was the case, then we would have seen a bounce back. Plus, I mean, these numbers started in 2014 and COVID did not. So, the last thing I want to just talk about, and then I'll answer your question, is drug overdoses.
oh,
Really, really scary. And that's another thing that RFK Jr. is doing, which I'm really pleased about. So you can go to your local smoke shop, right? You probably don't, but kids are, right? And they're buying these vapes and things that have opiates in them. Literally, there's not even a question. It is an opiate. And so, people are dying from drug overdoses and things like that. And that's really, really, really sad and really scary. But when you talk about aging, it really starts on a cellular level. If we're going to get a bit scientific here, so it's natural cell metabolism. Our cells are going to age. That's just life, right? Your cells are going to be different from 20 to 80. There's nothing we can do about our cells aging.
mhm,
Sort of. But things like inflammation and oxidative stress, it's actually speeding it up, which is not good. Okay. And so, just so your audience understands what oxidative stress is, think of it like a car, right? It's like the cellular rust from not taking care of your body. It's those toxins we talked about. It's stress, it's poor diet. All those things make us age faster. And when our cells age, our tissues age, and our
right.
tissues really make up everything in our bodies inside and out. And they kind of tell us what's healthy and what's unhealthy. And that's why cellular health is tied to overall health.
Right.
And, the goal is not to stop aging, right? We don't, like I said, and you agreed, we don't want to live to 150,
Mm,
right? Like that's just crazy. We don't want to stop aging, but we want to slow it down.
mm,
And it's actually possible because how quickly our cells age affects how our body functions, our overall health. And that's my main focus when I'm consulting with clients, right? Like, we're not trying to turn back the hands of time. And, we're trying to slow it down and be healthy because that's what slows down age. Um, and, the food we put in our bodies, we talked about it a little while ago. It's organic. It's foods that are not just in a plastic bag or, over processed sugar, things like that. There's a tremendous amount of evidence, and we all know this, that what you put in your body directly affects your health, chronic diseases, right? Heart cancer, heart disease, cancer, obesity, all those things, the food we eat, it contributes to it. So that's one thing we can do, right, to kind of slow things down a little bit. The other thing is hydration, right? I mean, from the time you're a little kid, did you drink water? Did you drink water? Electrolytes, it really does make a difference. When you're hydrated, it impacts the healthy functions of your organs. Okay. So, and what's the biggest organ? Our skin. So, your health on the inside, what you're putting in your body and you're chugging that water, you're going to see it on your skin. You're going to be able to see that you're healthy on the inside. And exercise, and I know you like sports, right? You like to
oh yeah.
watch sports. Exercise is something that's going to help prevent a sedentary lifestyle.
Mhm.
And when you're not working out, when you're not walking, taking care of yourself, obesity, joint problems, because as we age, those things are more
Mhm.
prevalent. Do you like to walk, or what do you do for exercise?
I'm a I would I played football,
Oh, okay.
obviously a long time ago,
Yeah.
and I was a champion power lifter, and so
Ooh.
my joints took a huge beating from being hit, from putting 800 pounds on my back, from bench pressing nearly 600 pounds, putting different kind of chemicals in my body back then to enhance performance. So these are all the things that we did when we were younger. Now as
Mhm.
I'm older, I'm like, oh, my knees hurt, and so
Yeah.
and then sitting in front of a camera for 5 or 6 hours. I don't know, about 6 months ago, I'm like, I need to do something because I'm feeling too much pain. I don't want to be that older guy who feels pain. And so we've got a pool, doing more swimming. And even here, like if I'm doing a show and President Trump is talking or something, where are they? I will jump up, and I've got bands that I use right here while he's talking. I forget where I put them, but I'll do different things. I'll get up, I'll walk around, and then of course I've got two little dogs, and we walk, and then I start going to the gym again, doing different kind of things. I'm not bench pressing 500 and 600 pounds. I'm not squatting. I'm doing more stretching and things of that nature. And then of
Yeah.
course, what you just mentioned, the most important part, eating better. I had Kim Bright from Brightcore come on one day. She said something, and ever since she said that to me, my wife has been shopping this way. She goes, when you go into the grocery store, shop the perimeter. And
Mhm.
I was like, and it was one of those things. I've interviewed so many people, it's made me sit back, and I went, what do you mean? She goes, well, all the stuff on the perimeter is the only stuff you should be eating. It's produce, it's meat, and everything in the aisles is all processed crap. And I hadn't thought about that. So yeah, it's been completely different to me. And it's funny because when Trump talks and he goes, want to make America great again, and other people on the other side say, when was America great? America was great when it didn't have all that stuff in the middle of the aisles. Our parents didn't shop like that. They went to the butcher shop. They went to the farmer's market. There wasn't all that, the cookies and creams and all that kind of stuff that are all processed full of sugar. Me, myself, I got bigger because of football, and then just gradually had to lose some of the weight. But now it's coming off finally, and I'm feeling better. And thanks to Kim for that advice on how to shop. It's definitely worked. So let me ask you a question. My audience is pretty familiar with this now because of Kim. But for those who don't know, what is kimchi?
Uh, it's interesting, and thank you for mentioning kimchi because it is magical. Okay. And some of your audience may know this already, but there was a study where kimchi was introduced to human cells in a test tube, and it slowed down the aging of the cells, which is really cool. And it slows it down on the cellular level. Okay. So it slows the aging of the tissue, which is a combination of the cells, which ultimately slows down the aging of the entire body.
Mm.
And so to simplify that, when you take care of your cells, your tissues stay young and your body stay younger. And kimchi is the king of fermented food. I mean, it is a staple in the Korean diet. That's why Koreans live 6 years longer than Americans, and they eat it every day, sometimes at every meal. And for those who are into skincare, you've heard of the Korean glass skin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at their skin, they glow, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, their glow just radiates health and wellness. And it's like, I want some of that. And that gets me thinking about the gut skin axis connection, right? Between gut health and skin health. What you put in your body plays a bigger role than anything you can put topical on, cream, stuff like that. Your microbiome, right, is more than just inside your gut. It's everywhere. Okay. It's like your mini ecosystem, if you will. And the balance of good and bad bacteria determines the quality of your skin. And kimchi helps because it's full of probiotics. It has over 900 unique strains of bacteria, and it helps balance the good and the bad. And, when people think about health, Barry, they think about just the inside. But as a wellness coach, I like to focus on how the inside impacts the outside, how it's reflected, right? So we talked about the Korean glass skin and how it glows because they're treating themselves from the inside with kimchi. And most women do not talk about their age. It's like a no-no, right? It's taboo. But I am proud to talk about my age because I feel like when you take care of your skin, like going back to the exercise, I love exercising. I really do. I'm a Pilates gal. I love to walk my dogs. And exercising and eating well, you feel better mentally, right? It releases those endorphins and the serotonin, and you just feel like a better person. You just feel like centered, right? Like everything kind of falls into place. And I feel like my health is a reflection, my skin, of how I've taken care of myself all these years. And I don't feel 50. I'll be turning 50 next year, and I don't feel it. And that's fine. 50 is a number. Do you know what I mean? I may not do the same things I did when I was 20. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm happy where I am now. But have you ever seen the Barbie movie with Margot Robbie?
Yeah.
She's like beautiful, gorgeous, just always glowing. And obviously it's Hollywood, right? But fun fact, did you know that her skincare specialist had her eating kimchi as part of her
Wow.
diet to prepare for
Wow.
this? Because of the glow. And it also helps healing and reducing stress. So, I mean, the proof is right there. So it's kind of cool to know how kimchi, we're not just saying this, the science behind it really proves it. And, Margot Robbie eats it. So why not? So
Ellie,
that's it.
Ellie, I'm going to have to stop you for a second because
Sure.
over almost 60% of the people who watch our videos here are men. So you've been talking about the glowing skin and how you're
Yes.
feeling great. What about us? What about us guys?
I am so glad you asked. So I think often men get left out of that whole like skincare, aging, health and wellness, hair, but it's super important, right? I mean, because everybody wants to take care of themselves, especially when they know what the benefits are. And so men should care about skin health, but actually I want to talk about hair health. Okay. So there was a study in 2020 involving both men and women who had androgenic alopecia, which is a fancy way of saying, the most common reason for hair loss. So they ate kimchi for a 4-month period. And some of those participants, actually after 1 month, they found amazing results, right? And they were looking for hair count and hair shaft thickness. So after the 4 months, 91% of women saw either hair count or hair shaft thickness or both. And the men, Barry, 96%. I mean, how powerful is that? There's so many things that kimchi's doing. So, I mean, the benefits are insane. So, you want to look better, you want to feel better, you want to put some hair on your head and make it, because when you age, your hair is going to thin out. It's just part of life, right? And there's nothing wrong with it. Bald men are beautiful, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that, but when you are eating kimchi, those are the benefits that are going to happen, right? And kimchi is going to restore a lot of these things that age is going to take away from us. And it also helps people with losing weight and obesity and lowering body fat.
Why some people struggle with obesity. I mean, it was funny when I was playing ball, and after I got done, the doctor said, "Okay, you're never going to be a small person." I mean, they measured my wrist, and he measured my and bone density and all that. You're never going to be small, and so what you're going to have to do is change your diet. You have to change your behavior. You're not going to be 210 pounds. It's not going to happen. But you can feel better at a lesser weight just by changing your diet. So what is the primary reason most people struggle with obesity? Is it behavioral?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we all have genetics, right? Like you said, some people will never be a size 2, and that's okay, right? It's not a good or bad thing. Skinny people actually have strains of beneficial bacteria similar to kimchi. Obese people tend not to. And it's not always due to body fat that someone looks heavy or they have big bellies. Bloating, I don't know if you've dealt with that. It is so uncomfortable. Your waistline, it just feels like ugh, the pants don't fit, your jeans don't fit. It's super depressing, right? And kimchi has been shown to significantly reduce bloating because it's better digestion and better regularity. It also helps balance that gut bacteria because it's rich in probiotics. It reduces body fat. And then when you reduce your body fat, your risk of certain health problems goes down, which is kind of what we want. And, the other thing is that kimchi helps to boost immunity. And guess what? 70 to 80% of our immune system is found in the gut. So it's really full circle. Everything is related, and kimchi helps with everything. And that's the really cool part of it.
So working with Kim at Brightcore and everything you guys are doing to let people know the benefits of kimchi, is this why you guys created Kimchi One? Please explain why you guys created Kimchi One.
Everything that we just talked about today, that's the reason why. We want people to feel better, to look better, to be healthy from the inside out. And we all know the benefits of kimchi. It is unbelievable. You can't deny it from the science. So we wanted to create a convenient capsule without the taste, without the odor, without the mess that you can consume daily, 3 times a day. We've taken out virtually all the sodium because store-bought kimchi actually has a ton of sodium.
Mm.
The other thing about kimchi I just wanted to mention real quick is that as we age, we get sicker faster, more often, right? And our immune system gets weaker. And I just talked about the immune system, right, with the gut health, again, kind of full circle. And these, antibacterial, antifungal, antiparasitic, all these things that kimchi has, it's going to help, hidden parasites, which is always gross to talk about, but it's a part of life. Stubborn funguses like candida. Kimchi has shown the power to battle all these evil microbials naturally and effectively. So that's why we wanted to create something where people could take advantage of it without having to consume so much of real kimchi, which I happen to love, but let's be honest, Americans don't love it. And the people that I've coached and recommended this product to, they've all said very similar things. And this is so cool. So they're telling me that their skin is glowing, but people are asking them, hey, what'd you do? Like, did you do something? Did you get a surgery? I mean, what are you doing about your skin? And there's nothing better than trying to get healthy and then somebody else recognize it and go, what are you doing? Wow, really? Like, okay, I feel better. But like I said before, inside reflected on the outside. Their hair is growing back thicker and shinier. They've dropped weight. They aren't bloated. They're not constipated. They feel better than ever. Their energy levels are higher. And, I'm very selective in the products that I recommend, but this one I recommend to virtually everyone because it is fantastic and it's just overall health.
You know how you have to take some things and it takes a long time for you to begin seeing some sort of results from it. When you recommend Kimchi One to people, what are your clients experience when they start taking it? Right when they start taking it, can it make a difference that quick?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about the study before. It was a 4-month study with kimchi, but in 1 month, people saw results. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Like, you're not going to take a pill today and wake up tomorrow and be like, well, I'm healthy, I'm good to go. It's a process, right? Because you're undoing all the things that you've been doing your whole life that has created aging faster. But yeah, it's pretty quick. That's what people report. It's very exciting, and we just want people to feel great. We want to spread awareness and great health, and because there is a way to slow down aging, right, on a cellular level, and that's so cool.
Yeah, and very much so. So everyone that's watching, Kim's been on the show before. It's worked very well for the people. They always put it in the chat how things are working for them when they start taking Kimchi One. So just wondering, Kim's not here. You're here. Can you speak on her behalf? Any special offer you can offer the Fanfare family today?
I would love to. So right now, if you go to mybrightcore.com/Barry, you can get 25% off your order of Kimchi One using that code Barry. Again, mybrightcore.com/Barry. Or you can call 888-418-6738 to get up to 50% off your order plus free shipping. Just a reminder, this is all natural, non-GMO, 100% made in the USA. And the first 100 callers get a free bottle of vitamin D3. And again, that number is 888 418-6738. And aside from obviously getting up to 50%, I recommend calling because we love to talk to our customers. We want to take that journey with them. We want to answer questions. Our health experts are on the line waiting for you to call. And we want to make sure it's the right product for you. It's not just here you go. We want to share with you our knowledge and just follow you along in your health journey.
Well, Ellie, thank you. You've been a bundle of energy and information today. I appreciate your time, and tell Kim we said hello.
Will do. Thanks, Barry. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Bye-bye.